You're welcome to Akahi Tutors. Today, we shall be looking into introduction to philosophy. This is philosophy 101 from the University of Ibadan. My name is Otto Steven. Philosophy is one of the courses that have been underrated by many people. Many think that philosophy is useless, it cannot be bred. But I want to tell you that philosophy is very useful. And if you study philosophy, there are many career opportunities for you. There are many skills you can learn. In fact, there are many aspects you can apply your knowledge to, and many opportunities where your knowledge, your skills in philosophy can bake bread for you, put food on your table. So let's just see what philosophy is. I will tell us what philosophy is. We just do some bit of introduction to philosophy. Philosophy is the study of fundamental questions about existence, knowledge, value, reason, and reality. Existence, knowledge, value, reality. So philosophy studies the nature and the fundamental principles, the structure of existence, knowledge, value, reality, and reason. In a word, philosophy wants to give us the foundation to questions we ask about things around us. That's existence, things that exist, and about things we know or we claim to know. That is knowledge and value, our value statement. For instance, when we say an action is good or bad, right or wrong, how do we know? How do we justify an action that is morally good from the one that is morally right? And also, reality. What is actually real? Is it just an idea or something that is just an intellectual concatenation in the mind, or something real in the world? That's a reality. And the reason, the way we think, and that's a logic. Philosophy involves critical thinking, and is the virtue of a philosopher. That's the ability to appeal to rational thinking. There are rules or principles that we often observe when we speak, whether you're a philosopher or not. For instance, if you are telling me something, you cannot say A is A at the same time you say A is B. You have offended the rule of identity. When you are saying something, people expect you to maintain what you are saying, except you want to introduce another aspect of identity of A to us. Then we know you have introduced that. When you are talking about football, we know you are talking about football. You cannot just move same identity or person or character and then give it an attribute that belongs to another aspect, maybe football. So let's see what philosophy is about. It involves critical thinking, it involves systematic analysis of our language and of what we see, and language and the statement, expressions describing either existence, knowledge, value, reality, or reason. Philosophy has a lot of branches, but there are main branches of philosophy. We have a metaphysics, see existence and reality. What is real? Does something really exist? Is it true that if somebody is beating in dream, it will affect him in real life? Is it true that dreams really make sense? Is it true that when we pray, that our prayers are being answered? Or when we pray, we speak to some unknown entity and we feel some psychological relief and comfort within us? So we now have a kind of placebo effect that our prayers have been answered, and we begin to behave in that way. And actually things can get better, but it is not the prayer, or it's actually the prayer. So what is really this is the aspect of metaphysics. Metaphysics is one of the aspects or branches, metaphysics, of philosophy. Metaphysics examine the nature of reality, including existence, time, space, causality, and the ultimate nature of things. There are many things around us. We see some things changing, decaying, and we still see some things that remain permanent, unchanging. So can we say that the things that are changing are caused by the one that remain constant? So what is the primordial stuff? What is that thing from which other things are generated, why things are changing in the world? So that we know what we can rely upon when we claim to know something. You want to do business, you should look for what is stable, what is safe, what is sure, not what is changing that can deceive or you can lose your money. So that's an aspect of metaphysics. Epistemology is another aspect which investigates knowledge, truth, and belief. When you say you know something, are you sure you really know it? Is it just a statement of truth or belief? No, in epistemology, we always talk about this. We call it JTB. It's common. This is justification. When you say you know something, can you actually give us justification? That is, can you prove it? Maybe give us evidence. When you say you pray for someone born blind as a pastor, immediately the person got healing, you give him a red handkerchief. What color is this? And the blind man who was blind from birth said this is color red. Is it possible? No, is that knowledge derived from experience or derived from reason? Can you know color when you are actually not seen red color before? So philosophy investigates such claims, knowledge claims, and that is a epistemology. This is true. Something may be true and you believe it, but does it pass as knowledge? Is it actually knowledge? You believe something and you think that that thing is true. So this is the aspect of epistemology. That is a knowledge. So let's see another aspect which is very germane to the branches of philosophy, which is ethics. So we have metaphysics, the main or the core branches: metaphysics, epistemology, which I have explained briefly, and the third is ethics and logic. Ethics is another branch of philosophy. Ethics deals with our relationship with one another, as to whether our relationship, our actions are good or bad, acceptable in the society or reprehensible. So ethics grapples with questions such as what is right or wrong, what is moral or immoral, who is a virtuous person, what is virtue, what are values and principles, how do we determine moral obligation, is someone praiseworthy or blameworthy for a particular action. Let me give you a practical example. Someone who was threatened to rape another man's wife, maybe at the point of gun to his head. Can we say such a person is morally responsible for such action? An action that is done under duress, maybe under force or under certain circumstances. How do we evaluate these actions morally? We just speak that something is right, something is wrong. We have to consider some factors such as maybe the intention, the action itself, the circumstances. Especially in religious circle, we just pass value judgment on people that what the person does is wrong or is right. So philosophy will investigate the nature of that action and examine the moral agent. Maybe is actually free, it's a free action, or maybe is rationally responsible for that action. For instance, the action of a madman, can you judge whether it's right or wrong? Or somebody who is under the influence of chemical or substance. So that's the aspect of ethics. And another aspect, which is one of the main aspects of philosophy, is logic. Logic grapples with questions such as what is reasoning and argumentation. How do we evaluate argument? In philosophy, we deal with argument. There's actually a course called argument and critical thinking. Arguments in philosophy does not refer to shouting and fighting that is commonly and popularly believed to be argument. Argument in philosophy means giving us a statement. When you give us a statement or you make a claim, argument means providing premises, providing evidence, providing statement to prove, to authenticate, to validate your claim, to tell us what you have said is true or false. Actually, you are trying to push your knowledge that you know something, that something is true. If I say that Mr. President is misbehaving economically, he has pulled down the economic prosperity and stability of the country, I have to make my own proofs. So this is a logic, and there are rules for us to know whether your arguments are valid or sound. So this is philosophy for us. You can join us on this channel as we progress through this Akahi Tutors.